Hi, welcome back. As a programmer or as a supervisor, you need to know where your files were located and the last time the files were accessed, the size of the files, so that you'll be able to actually manage your space. So I'm going to show you how to use the OS model to uncover your working directory and your path, the sizes, and um, the last time the files were actually accessed. So let me share my screen for you to see what is actually going on. So for instance, you are going to have a folder like this, and you want to know the files, or the Python files that you have written over there, the folders that are there. How do you use Python to access all these files? And the last date, like for instance, the last date modified, the sizes of them, how are you going to use Python to actually do that? So let's go to Python and I'm going to show you how to actually do that. So now what you have to do first is to use the OS model to uncover this path. And we have to actually use the timestamp, the date time model to actually display the date and then the time. We are also going to use the OS model to actually look at to scan our working directory to look at the files and then to actually get the working directories. So we can run this first and you don't have to run them anymore. Once it is run, I showed you how to set up a working directory in your in my previous video. So if you haven't watched that, go back and then see how it is done. You set up a function to a folder, you use the OS scan directory to the folder, you define the working directory, and then you are going to print it. Then you are going to, if you want to print it, you might have to set up your actually your folder. You can bring this first to do that. It doesn't matter. It's still going to run. So you do that, and then you run that. So once you run that, this is the codes, the path where the files, the path is basically what I showed you over here. So it says that it is on codes. So let's go back. And then once you do that, now we are going to use the function to display the date the files were actually created. So we define a function, and then this is the timestamp is going to be the parameter. So we defined UTC timestamp, and then we called it date time UTC from timestamp, and then we are going to use the timestamp. This is actually a variable that we have created, which is a string variable, and then we are going to call it, used to format the date using the step time to look at the day, the month, the year, the hour, the minute, and the second, and we are going to return the formatted date. So you run that, perfect, and that works. So now we are going to display the name, the date the files were created, and the last time the files were actually accessed using this simple function. So I would explain that. So you write a function, that is the def function, to the name of the function, which is the display entries in the working directory with the parameter directory. And then we are going to use the OS scan directory on the parameter directory as an entries. And then right after that, we say for entry in entries, or maybe an item in items, we are going to print the name of the file. We look at the statistics of the file, and then we are also going to print the date, the date or the time the file was actually created, which by using this function. And then we are also going to print the last time it was accessed, which we are also going to use the format datetime info.st time to do that. And finally, we are going to print the size of the file. So we do that, and then we call our function to where the folder path, where the file is actually located, which we have already defined that. So we run that, and this is going to list all the files and then the folders and the last time they were accessed, and then the size of the files. So one thing I would also want to show you is the folders in that particular working directory. And we use this simple function to do that. So we define a function to display the directory with the parameter directory. And then we are going to use the scan directory as entries. You can name it anyhow. And then for an entry, for a single entry in entries. So you can say for an item in an items, but be careful that the name that you named over here, the variable that you created over here, is going to be what you are going to use over here. So once you do that, then we say if an entry, one single entry, is a working directory, if the entry is a working directory, we are going to print that entry. And we are going to say one of Phelan's directories is called then the entry name. So, and that is located on the code, which is the folder path, which we have already defined that. So we run that and it is going to show you the page that the folders I opened in the previous, before the video. And then now, if you want to look at the files and the codes in that working directory, you can also use the same code, but the only difference is that here we say it's directory. In the difference here is that you're going to say it's file, and that shows you the file and the name of the file. So we can highlight that and then run that. And it's going to show you all the names of the files in that particular working directory. So this is a short video to show you how to look at all the files in your working directory and the last time they were actually accessed. If you like my video, like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see upcoming videos. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.